Hello and welcome to The Beam, where curiosity meets conversations, taking us a step further into the future we desire. I'm Sunas Nathaniel, and today we're addressing a topic that has been met with mixed reactions across Nigeria, the proposed tax reform bills by President Bola Tinubu. The bill aims to increase revenue and restructure Nigeria's tax system, but how does it affect various regions of the country, particularly the Niger Delta, which has long carried the burden of oil extraction for national development? To help us explore these complexities, I am joined by a very special guest, Dr. Theophilus Alaye, the president of the Ijaw Youth Council. Dr. Alaye brings invaluable insights, particularly from the Niger Delta perspective, as his organization advocates for the rights and development of the people of the region. Dr. Alaye, you are welcome. Thank you for being here with us on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Let's start with a broad overview of this proposed bill. From the standpoint of the Niger Delta, what are your initial thoughts about this bill? Does it address the concerns of the region, particularly when it comes to the distribution of revenue from oil and the gas sector? That's oil and gas sector. Does it address these issues?
Thank you very much. Over time, the Niger Delta, the Ijaw people in particular, have always asked for true federalism, because we believe that the revenue sharing formula of Nigeria in this particular point in time was not to the best interest of the people of the Niger Delta. The current tax reform bill that is before the National Assembly, even though it has not addressed all the concerns of the people of the Niger Delta, especially the Ijaw people, it's a welcome development. It's a bill that we believe will address some of the salient issues that have been facing us as a people of the Niger Delta, that has been contributing majorly, endlessly in the oil and gas industry. This bill in question is beyond just the oil and gas industry. This bill is about equity, fairness to the people of the Niger Delta. And I believe that when this bill is being passed, a lot of issues are going to be handled. A lot of issues are going to be addressed in respect of revenue disbursements from the federal to the state to the local government area. So as a people, we are still consulting with our stakeholders, and we are still looking line to line, word to word, about the bill that is before the National Assembly that has been sent by the executive. We believe that before it will pass this third reading, some of our areas of concern must have been addressed. And we believe that with our senators, who some of them are past former governors of our various states here in the Niger Delta, we believe that the interests of the people of the Niger Delta must be definitely looked into, and priority must be given to those our concerns before the bill will see the light of the day. So for now, it's a welcome development, because it's going to address some issues that has been disturbing us, that's been bothering us as people from the Niger Delta. And it is a bill, I must say, that is in the right direction, and it will make Nigerians, every state, every local government, to sit up to make sure that Nigeria functions effectively for all and sundry.
All right. As much as you have applauded this move with the bill, you have also said that there are concerns with regards to the South-South and the Niger Delta. In having looked through it, I want to ask you basically, what are these concerns? What are these concerns that you guys might have found out? What are these concerns you might have spotted, within the framework of the bill? And, what are they? Can you just shed some light on what you want to see, basically, that comes into this whole reform?
Thank you. Before this time, Nigeria, the VAT that comes from companies in Nigeria has always been shared according to population and according to headquarters of companies that are generating the VAT. That means the account offices, or the account offices of companies, or headquarters of companies. Where the VAT is being generated is where the money is being given to. That is in respect to states. So, as people from the Niger Delta, you know that all the IOCs that have been operating in the Niger Delta, their head offices are located elsewhere. And that is why over time, you see the people of Niger Delta, especially the Ijaw extraction, we have been clamoring that the IOC should relocate as a matter of urgency to the Niger Delta where their activities are domiciled. So that when they are generating the VAT, the revenue that ought to come to the state of the activities will be accorded that fund. But over time, that has not been the position. Where the head office of these IOCs are located, where the VAT is being generated, is the state that will receive the fund. But today that the bill is before the National Assembly discussing about revenue and VAT, our own concern is that let it be that when this bill is being passed, those states that the activities of the IOCs are taking place, if Bayelsa State has 5 workers from a particular company, when the company is generating its VAT, let it be not known that so number of persons are operating in Bayelsa State. So that VAT should be accorded to Bayelsa State. If there are 10 oil workers operating in River State and the head office is trying to generate its VAT, make it explicitly clear that 10 persons from this our corporation is working from River State. And the VAT of those 10 persons should be apportioned to River State. We want these things to be clearly stated in this bill that is before the National Assembly, so that we won't have issues of our revenue that ought to come to our state is being given to other states where IOC have decided to go and locate their offices. If that is done, we don't have any concern with any IOCs trying to keep their head office or their sister office in any place. So we want those issues to be addressed clearly on this particular bill that is before the National Assembly. As I told you earlier before, we are consulting with our stakeholders, both in the national and the state level, and we will definitely give them our position at the appropriate time. Since the bill has passed second reading, now is at the committee of level, we will present our position to them and let them put these our fears into consideration so that we are going to support the bill, so that the bill can see the light of the day. If that is not done, believe you me, we might have no option than to call our senators and our honorables to also vote against the bill, because we cannot allow a bill that will be anti our people to see the light of the day. Okay. Those are our fears.
Okay.
Once that is done, I believe that the bill is good to go. Then secondly, I told you it's not just about the oil and gas industry. It's about consumption tax. Now look, this is a country that we have various religions, we have various ethnic groups and all the rest. The Islamic group of people believe that alcohol cannot be consumed. Today, Nigerians that are consuming alcohol from the southern part, particularly, will consume alcohol, and the federal government will collect alcohol tax and send this same alcohol tax to people that are destroying alcohol in their own state, because they believe that alcohol consumption is anti their people. So why will you send alcohol VAT to those that doesn't believe in consuming alcohol?
But the federal government will say, one second, doctor. The federal government will say that, can you hear me, doctor? I want you, just 1 second. I want you to speak on this thought very well. The federal government will say, hey, every money generated, we are not particular about regions. We want just to make sure that everybody, is satisfied. We want to ensure that every Nigerian gets the dividend of democracy. And if this is part of the whole process, then they're saying, hey, every region should have a bit of whatever it is we're generating. Are you saying that the federal government is erring in the sense that they're using the same revenue for everybody's good? Is that what you're saying?
Look, Nigeria has operated a regional system of government before this time. In the regional system of government that we operated, we believe that what you generate in your region is what you use in the development of your region. You only pay tax to the center. And at that particular point in time, Nigeria was functional. Nigeria was functional. So what we are saying is that if you keep on taking VAT and distributing it according to population or state, you are making some states deliberately lazy. And that is not to the best interest of the country, Nigeria. As an individual speaking here, I also want Nigeria to work and function effectively. If you will allow the states to take responsibility, believe you me, we will even do far better under this federal system of government that we operate. We will do even far better than the regional system, because this tax reform will definitely wake up some states that are sleeping. Some people don't just want to key into anything that will boost the economy, because they believe that at the end of the month, the federal government is going to collect all the tax and send what they want to go and do parties. We don't want that. If the people of the Niger Delta are consuming the alcohol tax should also be contributing to the road infrastructure in the Niger Delta. And not to people that are busy destroying alcohols that are coming to their area. Because, you see, equity, they said, he that seek justice must come with clean hands. If you want the VAT from alcohol, allow the alcohol to also sell in your state. Do you know how alcohol, the millions of naira that has been destroyed as a result of people kicking against alcohol consumption in the north? Even though you believe in your religion, allow the business to fly. Are there no Christians in those states? Are there no pagans in those states? That they will not deliberately tell them that because you are in our state, you cannot consume alcohol.
But some of them are operating Sharia law.
People that are in their state consuming
Dr.
alcohol to send their VAT for
Dr. Theophilus, some of those states are operating under the Sharia law. So it means that if you are in that state, you need to abide by the rules of the state.
I didn't get you.
I said some of those states we're talking about are operating under Sharia law, to a great extent. And they are saying, hey, if you are within the confines of our state, then you must abide by the laws.
So that is what we are saying. So if you believe that Sharia is more paramount to you than the economic stability of your state or the comfort of those that are visiting, because we are operating the federal system, that means your law cannot constrain anybody from living in your own state. If that is the case, you cannot also control what I consume or what I eat as a pagan. So if you are doing that, you are in fact infringing on my fundamental rights as a free citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Be that as it may, I'm telling you that I will not allow my people to consume alcohol. That alcohol that I'm consuming is generating tax, and you want to take from that to develop your state. No, now, let's call a spade a spade. In as much as I believe, and my people that we have consulted so far so good, the bill is in the right direction. But our little fears are that let those areas that are activities are going on, let the VAT be traced to those states so that what you generate, you get. This will make the state governors to sit up and look at areas that will make them to have economic stability. We are not concerned about who. All what we want is a functional and a working Nigeria. So, but by doing so, we will not allow one to cheat the other.
All right. So again, what I'm hearing you say, and I want you to establish that, people from the north think that this bill is anti-north. They say it's totally anti-north. What's your take on that? Since you're from the south, do you think they also have a grouse, in this issue right now? In looking at the discourse in general, in Nigeria in general.
Yes, you see, the northern people, they are our brothers. We want a functional, you see, today I'm even worried as an individual that the textile industry that was one of the booming sectors in Nigeria that was domiciled in Kano is today battling for survival. This These were the economic pillars of Kano State when we were little kids. Today, economics have made us to understand that complete reliance on the free money that is coming from the oil and gas sector has made states like Kano State to be very lazy. What is wrong if at all this free money that has been coming from the oil and gas sector and other VATs that has been coming from other states has been put to revive the textile industry in the Kano State? Do you know how much employment that alone is going to generate? What we are saying is that, look, if the sharing formula has made some states to be lazy, it's high time we review that and put it in perspective so that everybody will sit up. There is nothing wrong in asking or pushing for that. We are aware the northern people have every reason to have their own concerns and fear in as much as this bill is concerned, because they believe that that free money that they have been collecting, which is part of the reason why they deliberately went to bring insurgency in the north by funding it and believing that the free money will continue to flow and they will use it to play politics. Since that is coming to an end and they are seeing the reality before their eyes, they are now saying that the bill should not pass the light of the day. It's laughable.
Okay, Dr. Alayi, Dr. Alayi, hold on. We must be very careful so we don't
use to cushion up other infrastructure and economic purposes.
Doctor, hold on. You just said something, so I want you to just be very careful so that we don't push, narratives that might be very inciting and triggering, so that we don't say that everybody there is funding the insurgency. We want to be very careful.
No, there is nothing Nathaniel, let me see, there is nothing inciting here. If we want Nigeria to work as a country,
Dr. Alayi, can you hear me? All right, go ahead. We were frozen for a while. Go ahead.
You.
Go ahead now. We couldn't hear you for a while.
As I was saying, there is nothing personal. We all want a working Nigeria. And for Nigeria to work, all hands must be on decks. And this bill is one of such bills that I know, we know, because the level we have studied it is going to make some states to sit up and face reality.
All right.
Today, the mineral sector, the gold mining sector in Zamfara and some other place, to a larger extent, has been bastardized. Because the state governors and the leaders from those states are not ready to regulate the sector. They play politics with it. Because they believe that even though they play politics with such kind of important sector, at the end of the month, the money that the oil and gas sector and those that are taking alcohol from the VAT will be centered at the level of the federal government, and their share of the money is coming to them. So they have deliberately refused to make those important sectors in their various states to function. So now this bill is now telling you that, look, sharing of VAT is going to be derivation-based. That means the level at which your state is contributing is what you will get. And that is the best formula. To a larger extent, this is more or less like true federalism.
All right.
Allow the people to manage, even though it's being shared by the federal government.
Okay, so
this will go
in one sentence, Doc, I want us to go from this issue to, there are several other issues I want to speak about in the Niger Delta quickly. But before we go into those issues quickly, in 1 minute, what will be your final take when it comes to this bill? What will be your advice? What will be that thing you want to see finally when it comes to this bill as regards Nigeria?
My advice is that this bill is a bill that will change the narrative in the Nigerian administrative system. The derivation-based model that is coming with this bill is going to sit a lot of state governors and players up, and it will help our economy to strive. And I believe that this bill is timely, and when those concerns about areas of activities is being put into consideration, this is the best bill that the executive have ever proposed to the National Assembly for over 5-6 years in Nigerian governance. So I believe that it's a good bill that we all need to run around to support. Thank you.
Let's run to Rivers State, where we always go to. There's been a call that says, hey, we need to run the by-election for the 27 whose seats have been vacated when it comes to the assembly in Rivers State. And I know it's one of those issues that the Ijaw nation has been looking at closely. And the question will be, what will be the position as regards that call today?
Thank you very much. You know, as a pressure group, as an ethnic group, what we are concerned about is the well-being of our people. And political stability is one of those areas that we believe that will give our state and our people the needed dividends of democracy. You know, what is playing out in Rivers State to a larger extent are issues that ought not to even arise, coming from precedents of political, legal issues that have gotten to the level of the Supreme Court. You know, Nigerian judiciary, sometimes you wonder if at all there are precedents on issues. These are people that made open declaration that they have decamped from their party, that gave them the power to occupy those seats to the opposition party. And by virtue of Supreme Court pronouncement, anytime you do that, you automatically lose your seat. So we have been expecting the PDP national chairman, the acting chairman, and these players to have written to INEC.
All right.
That the 27 lawmakers have lost their seats and by-election should be conducted.
That letter is out.
They said anytime such actions are taken, nothing is too late. The acting chairman has done that, and that is what we as a people has always been calling for. Internal democracy in our political parties. That is the only way we will know the manifestos of political party and know which party we are voting to give us presidents, to give us senators, and to give us governors.
All right.
The acting national chairman of the People Democratic Party have demonstrated high level of commitment and the belief for internal democracy.
All right.
He has written to INEC, which is overdue, that by-election should be conducted because those 27 persons have lost their seats. If that has been done, believe you me, the little political imbalance we have been seeing in Rivers State would have been put to rest.
All right.
Because people that does not even belong to the assembly, busy going ahead, taking people to court,
all right,
making laws,
Dr. Theophilus,
bills,
Dr. Theophilus, we have just 30 seconds, Dr. Theophilus. What do you want to see happen now? Just 30 seconds. What do you want to see happen now in Rivers State?
No, we want as a people, we want INEC to, as a matter of urgency, within the next 90 days, to bring out a timetable for the conduct of those 27 seats.
All right.
That are vacant in the Rivers State House of Assembly.
All right.
So that every constituency will be fully represented in the Rivers State House of Assembly.
All right.
So that Dr.
Alayi, thank you very much.
Also scrutinize the budget that the governor is going to submit.
Thank you very much.
For the benefit of the people. That is the essence of democracy.
We need to run now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I know you have so much to say about that. Thank you very much for coming on the program and giving your insights. Yes, we clearly see from the conversation that, yes, we need to do everything with fairness so that every Nigerian is involved. I'm Sunas Nathaniel. We're going to be leaving you right now with our top 5 videos. And as I always say, remember, stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged. God bless Nigeria. In 5th place, the Athena Center asserts that the evidence of systematic rigging in the Edo election is so substantial.
By this singular act of INEC, we are not able to now say what went wrong with the election because the number of accredited voters are 100,000 more than the number of accredited voters that was accounted for at the polling unit. So,
coming forth on our list is an interview on Sunday Politics in which the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, argues that Nigeria is the most viable country for aviation markets in Africa.
I'm asking you what the question here, Minister, is that what are you doing about the local operators?
No, that is civil.
It's your local economy that will drive our economy.
That remains a priority for us. But I'm telling you that we resolve the issue of the local
Are you taking it seriously, Minister?
Oh, 100%. No, that is not a question.
Taking the third spot on our countdown is a conversation with Senator Aline Dume, who on Politics Today was discussing the proposed bill for tax reforms. In second place, we see on Politics Today some discussions around Yaya Bello's surrender to the EFCC and the reviving of the Port Harcourt refinery. Coming first on our countdown this week is a clip in which we see Senator Abaribe speak on President Tinubu's new jet, the arrest of Simon Ekpa, and Nigeria's GDP growth.
Don't live as if you are still in the 70s when we had surplus money and didn't know what to do with it. Is that what is happening right now? So tell me, why do we have to buy a new plane?
That's it on our countdown today. Join us next week.